Here it comes. Here it comes. And away we go. Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? We are back again. I am so excited to be back again. I am your host. That's right, back again, Jessica Koch. And you know it. You are so supportive community, such a loving community that you have been supporting profound professionals for almost 10 years now. That makes you a superstar in my book. That's right. You guys are the star of this show, and we love having you. Profound Professionals has been here for the purpose to serve you with industry experts from all over the world. They help improve your personal life, they help you grow your business, and we bring you these brilliant people, and we've come together as this community that supports and lifts each other up. Today we have Jenny Elinora, and she is a creativity coach and a musician. Just squish that around your mouth a little bit and squeeze it like a marshmallow. And she is devoted to helping women who feel disconnected and drained. We do not want you to feel that way. We want to reclaim your joy, stretch up and be big, bold, and beautiful. And she does this through creativity and play. You remember the double Dutch jump ropes and the jacks that we used to play and the swings and tetherball. I used to love me some tetherball at playground time. So play is back in our world, and hopefully it's never left in some level for you. But welcome, Jenny.
Hi, Jessica. I'm so thrilled that you mentioned tetherball. I love tetherball, and also
Mhm.
that you went to this for joy, because
Yes.
just earlier during one of my events, we were doing this "We for Joy" together. Love it.
Yes, because that's how you feel. You curled up in a ball and sad and small when things aren't good, and you feel larger than life and big and joyful when things are so good. You're bright and beaming, and your energy is stretching in wonderful, wonderful ways. So, how did creativity and joy and play become something that could be a business? How did that happen?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. That was pretty organic, and I don't know if I can exactly say why other than in my story, like the fact that I stifled my creativity and play, and it was stifled culturally all through growing up. I didn't even sing in public till I was 33 years old. Uh,
Mhm.
and then once I did, though, once I opened that out, I also have this big desire and energy to help other people, especially other women, to express ourselves creatively. And
Mhm.
so that very organically grew into a business. I started out doing voice and performance coaching locally in Vermont, where I live. And
Mhm.
then that last about a little over a year ago, that expanded into creativity coaching and play stoking.
I love that. I love that. So, who comes to you? So, who wanders into Jenny's world and says, "Oh, I need this. I need this back in my life." How does that happen?
Mhm. There's kind of two threads of that. One thread is people who have a very specific creative dream that
Mhm.
they've been usually waiting a long time to fulfill,
Why do we
right?
do that to ourselves?
Yeah, right. So yeah, like writing a book. I helped somebody this year publishing their book that they've been writing for 40 years. I had a 30-year client at one point who'd been writing it for 30 years. Um, Publishing books, putting out music, just getting, having some kind of creative project that
Mhm.
they want to get going on that they've been putting aside for too long. And then the
Mhm.
other thread these days, lately, tends to be womenpreneurs who are noticing a lack of joy, a lot of stress with
Mhm.
the stuff on our shoulders, and wanting to find easy and simple ways to grow through that and to incorporate and include more energy in our life, and so creativity and play help you do it, and I've developed systems for that. So that's really working great for the womenpreneurs in my spheres at the moment. I'm loving it.
So if someone's thinking, okay, I could use this burst of joy and this different approach, and I want to check out this group or I want to do this thing with Jenny, is it going to be one on one? Is it group? Is there a webinar? Is it a workshop? Is it in person? Is it virtual? Give us some of the down low on how this works and where they can find you too.
Yep. It's all the ways at the moment. It could be any of those ways. The people tend to come in to an inroad to be able to, I give you a chance to try me out a bit in various ways. I
Mhm.
right now I'm running a series of probably of creative days of play micro events. It's like a challenge.
Mhm.
And that's, that's free and people can get to that. We're doing this live, right? So there's 2 days left of that. That's
Mhm.
at myplay.growyourwholevoice.com to register. That's one way to try me out. And then I also offer workshops
Mhm.
and I'm going to be launching my workshop, The Creativity Code, on October 18th. It's another free workshop, just a way to get into my world and see what packages are available at that time and what
Mhm.
offers I have to give. And
That's
yeah, so what the best thing is to create a circle. I find like a circle or a web or
mhm.
cushions of creative support
Mhm.
around us. So one-on-one coaching is great for that. The group coaching I offer monthly helps provide that. I also have an online community where we
Mhm.
support each other, and I have an online course. So all the ways.
And give us a website again. So if I wanted to maybe have a come check out one of those events, or maybe meet with you if there's a meeting opportunities available, where
Yes.
would I go?
Yes. Uh, I would go to today. If you're doing this today, I'd go to myplay.growyourwholevoice.com. That'll get you on my list. It'll get you into all the ways you can connect with me. You can also just email me back as well through that too. And then if you want a one-on-one with me, that is call.growyourwholevoice.com
Okay,
for an
and
instant one-on-one.
do the website a little bit slower.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
do it all
I
again, just a little slower.
All right. Call dot growyourwholevoice.com.
All right, very good. There we go. It comes out like a bit of music and
Yeah.
almost like one word when you say it, and I just want to make sure they don't miss it. Now, it's going to be in the description of everywhere you're finding this. It's going to be in the article that we write about her. But if you're listening and you wanted to gather it, I just wanted to make sure you heard it clearly. That's my job. That's the host. That's the host thing. That's the host thing I'm supposed to do. All right. So, anything else about the business specifically or those events that you want to talk about before we move into our tip?
Hmm. The business specifically. I guess just some testimonial a little bit from one really celebration that I'm having that's
Mm,
quite recent. So throughout this whole last summer, I started the play programming back in the spring. And throughout
mhm,
this whole summer, me and some of my clients have been doing what we called our summer of play and
mhm,
using my everyday play system to do it. And I just
mhm,
recently learned from a client who is in the middle of a big moving transition that they are, moving is stressful, right?
mhm,
And they are experiencing so much more joy from
mhm,
just practicing play throughout the process, right in the middle of it,
mhm,
than they ever imagined they would feel. They literally had like an energy opening thing happen to them that they've never
mhm,
experienced in their life. And
mhm,
they also they said, well, I feel like I've gone from saying and feeling like, oh, I have to move, I have to do all this stuff for moving,
mhm,
to I'm creating this transition in my life. I'm
mhm,
creating this transition in my life. They've decided they're creating it. They've given themselves permission, just that permission to play, and
mhm.
it's changed everything about their experience with their move. And we can apply that to anything. So maybe I'm moving into the tip right now.
Yeah, I do feel like that's a great tip. And one of the things that I just right before I came in here, I was spending a little in between meetings. I went outside and put my face in the fresh air and exposed myself to nature versus technology. And I spent a little time with my granddaughter and my family and hung out a little bit. And then I said, okay, now I've got to kiss everyone because they had to go do their thing. I'm coming in here to do a show. and she said, "Oh, Nana, I'm sorry you have to work." And I said, "Oh no, I get to work. I get to." So that idea of get to. And the other big thing, I'm doing this Friday book club right now with some other women, and we're doing the book Ask and It Is Given. And one of the big shifts that's happened for me that I have to celebrate is whenever before I would be, thinking about the, money or worried about something. And oh, even just like driving, you know, sometimes the drivers aren't around. I asked for some extra protection from whoever's sending it. I expect now, I expect all these windfalls of money to come in, and we'll just figure out where all the money needs to go when it comes in. So it's an expectance of the gratitude and the joy that's coming. And then I started thinking, I expect the safety and this protection to be around us as we drive to and from school. I expect and I accept, right? Both accepting it and expecting it, and then having gratitude and joy for it, right? Like all kind of rolled up into one snowball. I don't know.
Beautiful.
Does that make sense at all? I feel like a little crazy,
Absolutely.
but
Oh,
mm,
it totally makes sense. Yeah, and
yeah,
yeah.
that's been a big shift for me. So, okay, let's fine tune the tip from you. So, give us a clear and simple tip. And we were doing all these great thoughts and great positive sentences here, but give us a tip, Jenny.
Yes. Okay, a tip. I kind of touched on it a little bit before that even when even when everything around us seems to be going to crap, even when it's not fun, even when we're not having fun, there are always moments of joy that we can grab. I
Mhm.
recently did a little live stream video while I was sick. I was sick for a month this summer.
That happened to
And
me a couple of years ago.
yeah. And so my tip is that even when you're in the middle of that kind of thing, go ahead and let yourself play, let yourself enjoy a moment, right? Let yourself feel the sunlight on your skin. Let yourself look at some clouds and give them names.
Mhm.
Let yourself listen to music
Mhm.
and just even for 1 minute can change everything in your mood. So,
Mhm.
yes, the little things, let yourself do them right in the middle of all the other responsibilities
Mhm.
and the other things that aren't always so fun. And like you said, Jessica, too, change your story from I have to work to
Mhm.
I get to do this. I get to fulfill my mission. I get to do it. Find the sparkles that allow you to do that.
Mhm. I'm very I feel like I'm very blessed because very young, like I physically remember this moment. I was like a tween, maybe. I was like between 10 and 12, somewhere in that age bracket. And I was attending, we're Christian and spiritual, and I was attending something and learning about Bible verses. And I remember the moment when I heard about the disciples in prison and how they were in jail. And to me, as a young child, like that's the worst place you could be, right? And how they were joyful. And so I decided in that moment of my life, I was so affected by that passage that I choose joy in all things. I mean, we've had loss and we have had, we've had our challenges of the story. I'm 52 and fabulous, so we've seen many, many things of all kinds. But somehow I always find some piece of joy somewhere in some of it. Maybe not always immediately, but very, very quickly. I choose joy, and it's been a wonderful way to live. So I feel so lucky that I caught that so young. Now, on the same hand, I'm going to tell you, I don't feel as happy about not discovering kayaking until I was in my 50s because I feel like I somebody should have told me about this so much sooner. I literally feel like I'm in heaven when I'm gliding on the water. There's so much peace and joy and a feeling I can't. It's peace. beyond, that surpasses explanation. Like that said, and I have to say, I feel a little cranky that it took that long for me to get that, but I'm gonna let that go and just be grateful that I can still do it now.
Yeah. I put out my first album when I was 50, my first music and first solo music. And
You
yeah,
know
there was
what I
a little
feel.
bit of
You
the
understand, right?
regret, or I
Yeah.
mean, the regret can shift into gratitude, right? Like it's part of the same package somehow. So yes,
Yes.
if we kind of lean that way towards the gratitude, we're good.
Yes, I do. I do. You can't help it. That's the other thing I say, and that's the other tip I think we should give is, you
Mhm.
talked about music earlier. It's really difficult to stay cranky or in an ungrateful, unjoyful state if you're singing a song.
Yeah.
Like I have this with my teenager in the car. I'll blast the music and sing as loud as I can,
Mhm.
and then I'll get her to eventually sing. And you just can't. You can't stay cranky. And
Yeah, guitar singing is the best. That came up in the last podcast interview I was doing.
yeah, you got to sing. Singing and dancing. It's very challenging to have anything but joyful, grateful energy and love when you're moving your body that way, and when you're exercising the vibrations. I think it's partly the vibrations. They even say if you take a deep breath and you make the sound, the vibrations gives. I think that's why babies like the vibrating chairs and the vibrating toys, and that the fact that we rock incessantly, the motion. There's something about joyful noise and joyful motion, right? That is wonderful. Okay, how about since the very start of our show, I'm very proud to say that we've inspired people, I believe, to give time, treasure, and talent, awareness, and just take a moment and really think, well, what cause do I really care about? What cause makes my heart sing? So sometimes it might be the cause that our guests share, and sometimes they might remember, oh yeah, I used to do this thing with this organization. Maybe I should check out what they need and start it up again. We get pulled into daily life, and sometimes forget to take that moment of pause and look at outside of our lives and outside of our windows and into our communities for the causes that can bring great joy, relief, and love and healing to people who need it. So, what's a cause that you care about, Jenny?
Oh, this is a fun one. It is. I was introduced to it by my friend in the UK, Rachel Earing, and it
Mm,
is the Great Big Yawn.
mm,
It's an organization called the Great Big Yawn, and it's at thegreatbigyawn.org. And the idea is, and the research is that they've been gathering, and some of the experimentations they've been doing in different communities globally is that when we yawn, we are relieving stress. We are socially connecting, actually. I
mhm.
can't explain exactly all of the science behind how that
Read
is,
some studies. I've
but
read
they've
some
been doing them,
studies.
right, doing the studies. So, yeah, and I've been doing it more. I hosted a play date with co-hosted a play date with Rachel as well, where we were just practicing it, and apparently our play energies just went off the charts just from yawning and making ourselves yawn.
Mhm,
And it's beautiful. And I think socially, I do remember one thing she said about that is that people don't tend to, people in all cultures do it, right? Humans, it's what we
mhm,
do. And we don't tend to do it unless we feel kind of safe. So we're showing a little vulnerability when we do it. Do
mm,
it intentionally. We can do it intentionally. I mean, that's probably why we're encouraged not to yawn in certain set. Like if I yawned right now, the association would be like that I'm bored or something like that. But that's actually not often true. We're not usually
mm.
bored when we're yawning. We're usually stressed or tired, and which is a physical stress. And so, yeah, when we do that in front of each other, if we allow ourselves, if we change our culture to allow ourselves to yawn, we'll probably be a lot happier and feel more socially connected.
Well, they say there's been other studies that it's a sign of empathy. So if you
Mhm.
yawn and because yawns are contagious, and I yawn,
Mhm.
then it is me empathizing with your yawn, and
Yeah.
there's that energy connection. And they say that people don't yawn, they
Mhm.
might be someone you might be concerned about hanging out with. We're not giving you medical, legal, or financial advice here. There are doctors on this show. This is stuff I've read. Google your own white papers and researches from the different universities. But there was even an indication, that much nicer people yawn than, let's say, less nice people. We won't talk about all their activities, but there was all kinds of research on this fascinating thing where they went into, places and test this theory.
Yep.
It's very, very fascinating. So,
Right.
my husband and I have a joke about it too. If I yawn, I'm always waiting for him to yawn back
Yes.
as a test of him being a very nice person.
Yeah, I'm trying to show you right now how nice I am. I'm like, "See?
Yeah, that's right. Very, very nice. We like
Awesome."
you a lot. What a great cause. So put your causes in the comments, and hit that share button, because you just don't know who you might inspire, or what good someone reading the comments later might just find your cause, your favorite cause, and share that. And that could be a really wonderful thing too. And I'm really surprised we made it through that segment with either of us without either of us
I
yawning.
I
I was,
did.
I
I
was,
did yawn a bit.
I
I
was
couldn't help it, just saying the word.
I know, I'm fighting it back. I've been fighting it back. I'm like, okay, can't do that on
Why
pod.
why not? Let's do it.
They'll see my tonsils. They might not be they might not be decent. I don't know. So how about a book? I'm a bookaholic as well. I love causes, but I also love knowledge. I love to read all kinds of things.
Mhm.
But I love to ask our guests books that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business.
Yeah. This one's been both. This book, inspired my personal life and helped me grow my business has helped me
A
grow my
double
business.
whammy.
Yes, definitely. Well, I mean, my life is my business, right? A lot of us that's part and parcel, right? Because we're on a mission.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's called Emergent Strategy. It's
Mm.
by Adrienne Marie Brown.
Mhm.
And it's beyond description in some ways, but it is a very heartful book about how to kind of flow with the times, how to
Mhm.
change culture within flow,
Mhm.
how to change our lives and cultures around us, even the most challenging ones. There's also a sort of a collection of essays in there by other beautiful writers as well. It's one of the richest books that I have ever read, and
Wow.
and I go back to it over and over and over again, for just whenever I'm feeling kind of stuck within social situations, which I sometimes do, and feel stuck within social leadership situations where I have that
Mm.
role as well. It helps very much with that, with being the kind of leader who who is also connected and who is leading to follow, I guess you could say, leading to create
Mhm.
flow and movement
Mhm.
among groups.
Yes, because change is happening whether we're participating in the current or not. So it's like kayaking. Sometimes I just want to drift for a bit, but I'll still have to occasionally just gently put my paddle in, just to navigate myself from not ramming a boat nearby, a
Yeah,
very much larger boat nearby.
right.
But you can just drift in some spaces, but then
Mhm.
every now and then, with a gentle nudge of your paddle, you can straighten yourself out, so you don't hit that pier or whatever it is, right?
That's
Um,
wonderful.
but it doesn't have to be the full blown aggressive kind of paddling I do when I'm in um, stronger current water and things,
Mhm.
right? So it
Yeah.
doesn't always have to be that way.
Mhm.
And I think change can happen that way too.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I love
Love
that concept of a flow. Because we're talking about books, and because you're the play person, I am going to say that, on a fun note, one of my favorite kinds of books to read are historical fiction books. And I wish I could remember her last name because I love so many of her books. I think it's Magnolia Palace, and Spectacular is another one of books. It's She writes, all of them have been based in New York, and there's a past and a present kind of element to them, and they're very interesting and a lot of fun. And her first name is Fiona. So anyway, lots of fun with reading some historical fiction. Do you have a fun genre of book that you like to have to ask the Playgirl that?
Yeah, I know, and lately, I guess, I've been doing more active play than reading play.
Mm,
I reading, for fun was, a thing for most of my life, but it's funny, I just remarked, like, a week ago that I haven't read a book for a fiction book this whole year, which is really unusual for me.
mhm,
And at the same time, like, it's just my energies are it's because I'm doing other things that I'm enjoying. I'm playing. I've stretched my play. Um,
mm,
my my play styles, I've stretched them into other areas. So I'm like taking advantage. Well, maybe kind of like with you with kayaking. I'm taking
mhm,
advantage of like different ways of playing than I've ever done before, which are really fulfilling. So
mhm.
yeah, thanks.
Well,
Oh
when you do read for fun, though, is it sci-fi,
yeah,
fantasy, mystery? Like,
fantasy.
what's the topic?
I like fantasy, Ursula, and sci-fi. Like Ursula Le Guin straddles
Mm.
both, right? That's one of my favorite authors by
Oh,
far.
very
Also
cool.
like Douglas Adams very much. Hilarious. Talk about lots of play.
Yeah,
Terry
I like
Pratchett.
funny. I
Terry
do like
Pratchett's good.
funny.
Yeah, those do kind of straddle sci-fi and fantasy worlds too. So yeah, I guess I'm both.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. Well, you've created some other things. You're creating all kinds of things. I know you're making music. Talk to us about, some of the things that you've created.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I collaborated on music projects, bands, and albums and stuff, and co-produced an album that won an award, which was fun.
Ooh, that's very fun.
Yeah, that is the Tammy Award for Best Vermont Rock Album of 2019.
All
So
right.
it was great. So yeah, from my 30s to when I was 50 a couple of years ago. By the way, I'm fabulous at 52 as well, just like you, or
52
whatever you said.
fabulous. That's
You're
right.
fabulous. There it is. Yeah, the that through that phase, I kind of did stage projects, performance projects that I led, as well as ones that I participated in or co-created, and and I, up until I was 50, though, I hadn't put out any solo project, and so
Mhm.
that was really the sea change. I think I've heard that phrase before, sea like the ocean, that happened underneath me. There was, like, a lot of changes going on in my life, and this group of solo albums came out of me a couple of years ago, and,
Wow.
for a year or so, and, it was beautiful, and, it was also part of a healing for me. Again, like I said, I was going through some stuff, so
Mhm.
some stuff, and like my mom, who was my creative champion, really, and play is all the play stuff has her spirit in it. She passed away in 2019. That was
Mhm.
one of the things, and then continued on with some of my music expression as well. So that's one thing that I've done, and then that grew a little blog for a while, and
Mhm.
um, some poetry and things like that. And then yeah, since for the last year I've been creating transformation programs and
Mhm.
activities for other women who are ready to do that.
I personally love that you're building a dollhouse. I think that's
Oh
the
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm building is over there.
Yeah. I remember, you shared it in one of the meetings that I was in. I loved that. I, co-wrote a song with an amazing gentleman named Lowry, and, it's called Freedom to Win, and we're just finishing the whole process. It's a process to put a song out. So for the fact that you're doing albums, it's, like, blowing my mind. I have several other songs in me that I'd like to get out, but, Yeah, I don't see an album yet. I see a couple songs. So I guess an album's built one song at a time.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
I love that. I love that. Well, this has been so much fun. I hope you've had a lot of fun too.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you, Jessica.
Yeah. And if you're out there thinking, okay, I've got value to give people, I've had things I've created, I do things to help people with their lives or with their business. I need to be on this Profound Professional show. Reach out to us and our team, and we'll let you know just how to get on. Uh, but before we say goodbye today, we would love for Jenny to share with us a final thought, some inspiration or information as we go.
Yes. I recently find myself saying and sharing this mantra,
Hmm.
and it's based on the fact that we are by birthright and by design and by nature creative beings. Like we are nothing but that. We create our lives. So, the mantra that I've been saying is I create, therefore I am. I create,
Hmm.
therefore I am.
I love that. I create, therefore I am. I've been, my husband and I wrote an affirmation. We've been saying together as well as throughout the day, separately, but knowing that kind of anchored and connected that we're saying the same words that we
Mhm.
chose together, is a special and powerful thing. So I love that you have that. I hope that you either take Jenny's or discover yours, your words of positive joy in your life. And we thank you for watching the show. And as always, I am your host, Jessica Koch. This has been another Profound Professionals. And until the next time, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.